Guys and ladies, y'all are very lucky to see this next person we have coming up. Hilarious, and also runs the Station Theater here in Houston, so if you ever want to see some great improv, they also bring in a lot of great out-of-town comic acts. But everybody give a huge round of applause for my good friend Miss Lisa Friedrich.
Hey Rudyards, how you doing? Lots of people from Austin. I just drove in from Austin today myself, and on the way, I had the pleasure of riding passenger, which doesn't happen often, but that just made me realize how much I love driving, because when you're riding passenger, you get to notice all the things, meaning all of the stick figure families on all of the SUVs. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I recently saw something on the internet where someone had scratched Dad off. Come on, guys. All that makes me want to do is, like, how hard would I have to hit your car to knock out all 5 of you? And are those 2 dogs in there? Because I would like to do that too. I think it's really just because I'm jealous. I'm adopted, so family things are weird. And it's interesting to me. I keep realizing more and more about myself. Like, comedies like Admission will just make me sob for no reason, really. I don't know if you've seen that or not, but it really doesn't matter. You should or shouldn't. It depends on how bored you are. But I also realized at some point I was pro-life, but then I was born, so then I was like, no, do whatever. I'm out. I'm good. Thanks for that. When I was way too young to be dating somebody exclusively, I was doing that. And he was 19 and had his own apartment over South Houston. So that was interesting. And every weekend I went to San Marcos, and I would come in and I would stay with him, and we were together for like 2.5 years, and everyone was like, why? And they had good reasons to ask why. Like, he's growing his hair out and it's not looking good, number 1. Number 2, he stopped wearing Metallica shirts every day. That was the thing that I was into, and he quit that. Number 3, he dropped his scholarship to U of H to sell weed. And I wasn't smoking at the time, so I wasn't benefiting at all. He cheated on me with my best friend. He bought me a kitten for Christmas, and I was like, oh my god, this is adorable. I live in a dorm, you idiot. I can't have this with me. She has to stay here. 6 months later, came back to his apartment, and the cat, I don't know if you've seen Trainspotting. I will paint this picture. Oh, somebody has. The cat's just sitting in this decrepit apartment with no, like, humans had moved out. It was so bad. So I was like, this cat needs to go, or I'm calling animal services on you for my cat. One day I walked out of his room, and he's in the living room, which was really a pool hall at the time, because again, 19 years old and having your own apartment. And he's just sitting there weighing out weed on this apparatus, and like, I look over and hello high school friends that I don't remember, and hello oh, he's sitting there in his boxers, and like his left testicle is just like chilling. Like that's all you could really see was that, but that was enough. I went back to the room. I wore a ring from him for 6 days, 6 whole days, and afterwards, like, people would still ask, like, why were you with that guy? And I was like, well, I hated myself, and also, like, he had really nice balls, and every woman knows what I'm talking about when I'm talking about balls. Bob Morrissey knows. I've been a little sad lately. I think we all go through ups and downs, and anybody who doesn't is completely insane. So I've been a little sad lately, and I realized this when I was turning somewhere, and I was like, 4-way stop. I don't care. I can't see either way. I'm just gonna go. Fuck it. And I literally closed my eyes and drove. And in my head, I was like, it might be like a nice hug if I get hit right now. Like, oh, that'd be nice. Something close to me. It's fine. It's all like this, guys. It's not gonna get better. So just go with it. I've been doing a thing lately where I lay in bed catatonic for a while, and I call it snow whiting it. I'm just waiting for someone that I like to come over and kiss my mouth hole, and that's not happening. I have a very strong fear of the grocery store, and I am also pretty broke. So this equates to like really late night, like, oh, Domino's is fine. So at some point recently I just came home from work and I was like, oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of pizza boxes in my bedroom. So I stacked them in my bed, in the other half of my bed, because I only sleep on one side, gentlemen, just so you know. So I stacked them on the other side, and I named them Tim Williams. So it makes me feel like less hoardy and like lonely. Less like a trash princess. I fuck up a lot. Number one, I was a fucked up sperm. Hey, 17-year-olds, you like playing around? Fuck you. Now you're pregnant. Fuck that up. But hey, thanks. I know you're probably out there. Maybe you're not. I don't know. You're probably in the audience. I fuck up relationships a lot, like just pretty much any like inner human relationship that's not a friendship. I'm pretty good at that. But like anything that's more than a friendship or less than a friendship, I either pretend like I don't know you or I know you way too well. But I had this one semi-relationship, but that turned into him being a stalker, like by all definitions of the terms. And he broke up with me 3 times. That stalker broke up with me 3 times. That's how bad I am at dating people. I couldn't lock that down. He recently moved back to California, and I was like, well, that was it. I fuck up pet owning a lot. Like, we already talked about number 1, which was, like, the train spotting incident. But number 2, I guess it was, like, 3 years ago. It was a Sunday, a glorious Sunday like we've had today. And I was like, you know, I'm lonely. I'm going to go get a dog. Hey, this one has blue eyes. Maybe this will make that boy I like love me back. And you do weird things. You do weird things. So I get this dog, and they let me take this dog, which was not, they did not do any kind of background check. They let me take this dog home, and I immediately take him to Homeboy's house, and I'm like, hey, look at these blue eyes. You like that dog? Can I live with you forever? And like 45 minutes after I had, and also like this was a large dog, but I still like Paris Hilton'd it out of the thing. Like, we're in downtown, I don't want him to get hit. That would be too soon. 45 minutes after I owned him, he jumped off of a 3rd floor balcony. So really, like, me carrying him was just me hurting my arm for no reason. But he's fine. He's fine. He like jumped from a 3rd floor balcony, and we're all like, oh shit, I screamed a scream that I didn't know I could. And then we found him like right around the corner at some really fancy restaurant, which fuck him for that. We pick him up and he's fine. Like, should we go to the vet? And I was like, nah, it's too soon. I don't want to do all that. That means I really own him. So 2 weeks later, I gave him to my friend, and then he gave him to another friend, and then he gave him to another friend. I have no fucking idea who owns this dog now, but he's still on my Instagram feed, so he's fine. After that, I decided to get a cat, because I was like, that's easy. Like, you clean shit out of a box every whenever, and then, like, feed it every whenever. And it was totally cool. It was fine. Like, there were times where I was like, fuck you, stop doing that to my legs. I'm just walking. Why? And I kept like, oh, I should get it declawed. And my friends were like, don't do that. That makes you a heartless bitch. And I was like, well, I don't want to be that. I don't know what I'm doing with this animal. So I had her for a year, and then I moved in with my best friend and roommate, and she's allergic. So instead of getting rid of her, I got rid of the cat, and I took the cat immediately to Old Smoothball down in Clear Lake. He's got my cat now. That's how my relationships work out. I leave you for 7 years, don't talk to you, and then show up with a cat, an unwanted animal. I made him promise to not do what he did last time. He's fine. I think the cat's fine. He keeps calling me saying she's sick. I don't answer. I'm not a terrible person. I'm just walking the line. Do you guys, 2 questions. Number 1, do you like impressions? Cool. Thanks, Tim. Number 2, do you like X-Men? Awesome. Here's my impression of myself doing an X-Men referential joke about myself. Again, my impression of myself doing an X-Men referential joke about myself. Guys, at 27, I've had so many gray hairs, I'm starting to call myself Rogue. It explains why no one will touch me. Thank you. That was my one impression that I have. Guys, I'm going to leave you on this. I really hated philosophy, as a matter of fact, at the lovely school I went to, which I believe I mentioned earlier, we'll just say at San Marcos, Texas State University. They taught me philosophy by making me watch all 3 of the Matrix movies? Matrices? Are they Matrix? I don't know. All 3 Matrix movies, and I, literally an entire semester of, so what Neo was really doing here. And that's how I learned philosophy, but I want to leave you guys on this philosophical thought. Do you guys ever think that homeless people are just waiting for their moms to pick them up? Go with me on this. Basketball practice ended 30 years ago. She said she'd be here. I can only go to the arcade so many times with these coins. This no baths thing has been real fun, though. Thank you all very much. I've been Lisa Friedrich. Let's get Tim back up here.